I slammed the car, door shut, keys jangling in my fist like a death knell, convinced tonight would stitch the frayed edges of my family back together. My daughter Emily's text had been all sunshine and apologies. Dad, come over for dinner. It's been too long. Bring that pie you make. But as I fired up the engine, my phone buzzed with a message from Harlan, my old law partner who'd gone radio silent after the trial. Riley, it's a setup. Don't go. She's not who you think. The crash? It wasn't you. Check the attachment. Attached was a scanned police report, yellowed with age, naming Emily as the driver that night 15 years ago, the night I confessed to vehicular manslaughter to shield her, the night my life shattered into a million guilty shards. I sat there, engine idling like my pounding heart, staring at the words until they blurred. Emily, my golden girl, the one I'd sacrificed everything for, my career, my freedom. 5 years in a concrete hellhole for a crime she committed. Betrayal hit like a gut punch from God himself. But worse was the rage bubbling up, hot and righteous. I wasn't driving to dinner anymore. I was driving to war. The rain started as I peeled out of the driveway, wipers slapping rhythmically against the windshield like a countdown to reckoning. Harlan's text had cracked open the vault I'd buried deep, that foggy Iowa highway in 2010. Emily behind the wheel of my old Ford pickup after sneaking beers at a bonfire party. She'd swerved, hit a guardrail, flipped the truck. The other driver, a kid named Tommy Hale, 19 and full of football dreams, died on impact. Emily walked away with scratches. I took the fall, forged the logs, lied to the cops, pleaded guilty to protect her future. Dads do that, I told myself in the rear view of the squad car. But now I knew she'd sold me out for insurance money, whispering to prosecutors that I'd been drinking, planting doubts even as I rotted. My hands gripped the wheel white-knuckled, the GPS beeping toward her McMansion in the suburbs of Des Moines, the kind of place built on my blood money. Emily had married well, tech bro named Kyle. 2 kids. A life of PDA meetings and yoga retreats while I'd clawed my way back as a disbarred PI, scraping by on divorce gigs and skip traces. Harlan's attachment wasn't just the report, it was emails from Emily to her lawyer, admitting she'd paid off witnesses, buried the truth to keep her hands clean. Dad's always been the screw-up. One read, "This works for everyone." Screw-up? I'd raised her alone after her mom bailed for a Vegas lounge singer, worked double shifts at the firm to fund her college. And this was my thanks. The storm picked up as I hit the interstate, thunder rumbling like the laugh track of some cosmic joke. My mind raced through the what-ifs. What if I'd let her face it? Would she be the addict now? The felon flipping burgers? Or was my lie the poison that twisted her? No time for philosophy.
Tonight. I di confronter.
Drag the skeletons into the light. But Harlan's warning echoed, set up. What did that mean? Ambush? Blackmail? Emily had always been sharp, a debate team star who could twist words like pretzels. Maybe she'd pieced it together, lured me here to tie off loose ends. Exit 142 loomed, and I veered toward her neighborhood, the houses glowing like false promises under sodium lamps. Her street was a cul-de-sac of minivans and basketball hoops, the American dream on steroids. I parked 2 doors down, engine off, watching. Lights flickered in her kitchen window, Emily chopping veggies, Kyle wrangling the kids, laughter spilled out, tinny through the rain. My gut twisted. This was my grandkids' home too. What kind of monster crashes a family dinner with a bomb like this? I stepped out, collar up against the downpour, phone in hand like a loaded gun. The walk to her door felt eternal, each puddle splashing accusations. Hypocrite. Martyr.
Fool.
I rang the bell, the chime muffled by the storm. Footsteps. Then the door swung open, Emily's face lighting up in that practiced smile, blonde highlights, yoga-toned arms. The picture of suburban perfection.
Dad.
You're soaked. Come in. Come in. She pulled me into a hug, lavender-scented and warm, but I stiffened, the report burning in my pocket. Kyle waved from the living room, kids shrieking over a cartoon. Pie smells amazing, he called, oblivious. We settled at the table, turkey and fixing steaming. Small talk about my cases and the kids' school plays. But my eyes bored into her, searching for cracks. She chattered on, work's crazy, promotion coming, and I nodded, fork scraping plate like nails on chalkboard. Finally, as dessert hit, I couldn't hold it. Emily, I said, voice low, remember that night on Highway 35? The truck. Her fork froze midair, color draining like milk from a spill. Kyle glanced up,
Confused.
What truck? Hon. She recovered quick. Laugh brittle. Dad's reminiscing. Old times. But her eyes, those were the eyes of a cornered fox, calculating escape routes. I slid the printed report across the table. Harlan's gift. Read it. Your name. Not mine. The room went tomb silent. Kids' cartoons a distant buzz. Emily's hands trembled as she scanned it, then crumpled it like trash. This is bullshit.
Forgery.
Dad, you're paranoid. Paranoid? I barked, louder than intended, making the littlest one whimper. I did 5 years for you, lied to judges, rotted in Gen Pop while you cashed my checks.
And now?
You're setting me up for what? To keep your perfect life. Kyle stood, chair scraping. Whoa. Riley, what's this about? Emily, she whirled on him. Tears instant. He's lost it. Kyle, the crash, he caused it. Drank and drove. I covered for him back then. Out of love. Now he's twisting it. My jaw dropped. The lie flipped so seamless, like she'd rehearsed in the mirror. Covered for me? I'd confessed on tape. Fingerprints on the wheel hers, but mine in the story. Rage boiled over. You bitch, I hissed, standing, knocking over the wine. Harlan has the emails. You sold me out. The kids cried now. Full wail. Kyle herded them upstairs, shooting me a look that said you're the villain here. Alone with her, Emily leaned in, voice of venom whisper. You think you're the hero? That kid died because you gave me the keys.
Dad.
Your truck. Your booze in the glove box. I was 17. You made me a monster by protecting me. Her words landed like shrapnel. Was she right? I'd enabled, hidden her ex before. But the betrayal, the cold calculus of letting me fry, that was hers. Tonight's the end, I said. I'm going to the cops. Real ones this time. She laughed, dark and disbelieving. Go ahead. My lawyer's waiting. And Dad, that setup Harlan warned about? It's you. I know you've been digging. One call. And your PI license?
Gone.
Assault on the books from that bar fight last year? They'll bury you deeper than before. I stormed out into the rain, her laughter chasing me. But as I hit the car, Phone buzzed again. Harlan, she's bluffing. But watch your back. Her husband's connected. Feds? Maybe.
Connected? Cull.
The bland software guy? Something rotten here. I drove aimless. Storm raging. Mind a whirlwind. Revenge wasn't a dinner confrontation, it was a siege. Emily had layers, the sweet girl I'd lost, the schemer who'd clawed to the top. And me, the fall guy. Again. But not anymore. I'd unravel her web, thread by bloody thread. The wipers couldn't keep up with the deluge as I barreled back toward the city. Des Moines skyline a blurry smear of neon against the black. Harlan's texts kept coming. A lifeline in the chaos. Meet me at the office. Doors unlocked.
Got more.
My old firm, now a solo gig in a strip mall off I-80, felt like a ghost town calling me home. I'd built that place from nothing, late nights poring over depositions, coffee-fueled winds in courtrooms that smelled of old wood and desperation. Disbarred after the plea, I'd watched Harlan inherit it all. Our partnership dissolved like my reputation. Pulling into the lot, gravel crunching under tires, I killed the lights and dashed through the downpour. The door creaked open to stale air and flickering fluorescence. Harlan waited in the conference room, tie loose, tumbler of bourbon in hand. 60s, paunchy, with that perpetual 5 o'clock shadow that made him look like a rumpled Columbo. Riley, he grunted, sliding a file across the table.
Sit.
Drink. I dropped into the chair,
Dripping.
grabbing the glass without asking. The burn steadied me. Talk. What's Kyle's angle? He lit a cigarette against code. But who cared at 11 p.m.? Emily's hubby isn't just code-slinging for some fintech startup. He's knee-deep in dark money. Shell companies laundering crypto for Eastern European syndicates. Feds have been sniffing since last year. Tommy Hale's family? They sued the estate, your estate, got a settlement Emily funneled through Kyle's ops. 7 figures. Riley. She didn't just betray you. She profited off the corpse. The bourbon soured in my gut. Tommy's face flashed, grainy yearbook photo from the trial. All-American grin. His folks had come to my sentencing, eyes hollow, whispering why. I'd mumbled something about accidents. But inside, I'd screamed for Emily's sake.
Now.
That blood money built her empire? Proof. Harlan tapped the file. Wire transfers. Emails with aliases like Ghostwire and Hale Legacy LLC. Emily's signature on the incorporations. She's the silent partner. Flips the switch. Grieving daughter by day. Queen pin by night.
And you?
Loose end. That dinner invite?
Bait.
Kyle's goons were en route to persuade you to sign a gag order on the crash. Permanent. I flipped pages. Rage coiling tighter. One email. Handle Dad. Quietly. He's asking questions. From Emily to Kyle. Dated last week. Goons? Christ. Harlan. I'm a washed-up PI. Not John Wick. He chuckled. Bitter. Underestimate her.
You die.
She's moxie and malice. Riley. Remember how she charmed the jury foreman at your trial? Slipped him her number. Got him doubting the breathalyzer. Girl's a chameleon, sweet to suckers. Serpent to threats. Memories flooded. Emily at 16. Batting lashes at teachers for extensions. At 20. Talking her way out of a DUI with dimples and denials. I'd chalked it up to survival smarts. The grit her mom lacked. But this? Weaponized.
Why now?
Why tell me? Harlan stubbed the smoke. Eyes weary. Guilt. Maybe. Or leverage. Tommy's sister resurfaced. DA's office now. Cold case unit. She's digging. Emily panicked. Looped me in thinking I'd stay bot. I didn't. Not after what you did for my boy. Got him off that pot charge back in '05. I nodded. Throat tight. Debts between men like us ran deeper than blood. So, revenge?
How?
Cops. Too clean. She'd lawyer up. Cry victim, abused dad. PTSD from prison.
No.
Riley. We hit her where it hurts. The facade. Expose Kyle's laundering to the feds anonymously. Watch her empire crumble. But careful, she's got eyes. That bar fight? Planted. Bouncer on payroll. The pieces clicked, the drunk-eyed slugged last month. Bruises I'd worn like badges. Now twisted into assault charges waiting to drop. Emily's web. Sticky and vast. I drained the glass.
Standing.
I'm in.
But my way.
Personal. Harlan's brow furrowed. Don't go lone wolf. She's got. But I was already out the door. Rain a cold slap awakening the hunter in me. Personal meant facing the daughter I mourned. The one who died in that crash right alongside Tommy. The real Emily. The betrayer. I'd dismantle brick by brick. Dawn broke gray and unforgiving as I holed up in my efficiency apartment on the east side. A shoebox overlooking the Des Moines River. All peeling wallpaper and regrets. Coffee brewed black as my mood. Laptop open to public records. First target, Kyle's digital footprint. As a PI, I had tricks, VPNs, dummy accounts, scrapers that danced around firewalls. His LinkedIn screamed vanilla, senior dev at Agritech Solutions. But deeper dives revealed offshore boards. Patents on secure transaction protocols that screamed money mules. By noon, I'd mapped a trail, transfers from Hale Settlement to Cayman Trusts, then looping back to Emily's charity for at-risk youth, irony thick as tar. She volunteered there. Photo ops with troubled teens. The saints saving what she'd damned. My finger hovered over the IRS tip line. But no, too quick. I needed her to feel the noose tightening. Paranoia gnawing like it had me in prison. A knock rattled the door, unexpected. I peered through the peephole, delivery guy, clipboard in hand. Signed for a manila envelope. No return address. Inside, photos. Me at Harlan's last night. Me staking Emily's house. A note in block letters, we know. Back off. Or, the kids hear Grandpa's the killer. Ice in my veins. Emily's play, intimidation via proxy. But sloppy. Prints on the envelope would trace to her printer ink. A amateur hour flex. I bagged it for evidence. Heart hammering. The kids, my grandbabies. Innocent pawns. Lily with her gap-toothed grin. Max building forts from couch cushions. Using them? That crossed the Rubicon. I fired back. Anonymous email to Kyle's work alias. Attaching a screenshot of the first transfer. Nice setup. Curious what your board thinks. No demands. Just a poke. Let the doubt fester. Hours later, my burner buzzed, unknown number. Emily's voice. Strained but steel-edged. Dad?
We need to talk.
Alone. The old mill by the river. Sunset. Trap?
Probably.
But the coward in me yearned for her explanation. The lie that might salve the wound. Why? Because I love you, she said, and damn if it didn't crack something in my chest. And because you're right about some of it. Sunset painted the sky bruise purple as I approached the abandoned mill, a rusting relic from Des Moines packing house days. Chain-link fence sagging like defeated dreams. Weeds choked the lot, the river murmuring secrets below. Emily waited on the loading dock, silhouette against the fading light. No Kyle. No shadows yet. She turned as I crunched gravel, face gaunt, makeup smudged. You came. Curious, I said, stopping 10 feet out, hands loose but ready. Your love got conditions now. She stepped forward, arms out like surrender. The money. It was for us. For the family you couldn't provide locked up. Kyle handled it clean at first. Then it snowballed. Tears tracked mascara rivers. I was scared.
Dad.
After you went away. The whispers. The looks. I had to rebuild. Rebuild on Tommy's grave? My voice cracked. The first real fissure. You let me confess. Planted the booze. That's not fear. That's felony. She flinched, hugging herself. You taught me to survive. Remember Mom? Gone for a loser with a guitar. I couldn't be her, weak. So I fought. For Lily. For Max. You'd do the same. Would I? The question hung. A mirror to my sins. I'd covered for her mom, too. Once, hushed the affair rumors to keep the roof over our heads. Cycle of lies. Father to daughter. But hers cut deeper. A blade to the throat. Then, why the setup? The goons. A shadow shifted behind the mill, footsteps. Kyle emerged, flanked by 2 suits. Faces hard as river rocks. Insurance, he said. Voice flat Midwest drawl. Riley's digging too deep. We chat. You sign the NDA.
Or
what? I edged back. Pulse thundering. Emily's eyes pleaded, don't make this worse. But Kyle's gleamed avarice. Or we chat with the DA about your recent indiscretions. That bar fight? We have video. Enhanced. Bluff or not. It pinned me. Emily stepped between. Hand on Kyle's arm. Please.
Dad. Sign.
For the kids. The flip, protector to puppet master, nauseated me. But in her eyes, a flicker, regret, or the hook. One condition, I said.
Stalling.
Tell the Hales.
Truth.
Face them. She paled.
I can't.
They destroy us. Then we're done. I bolted, legs pumping over debris. Their shouts fading into the dusk. Gunshots? No. Just echoes. But the chase ignited something primal. The dad. The fool. Morphing to Avenger. Back home. Locks bolted. I uploaded the files to a dead man switch. Harlan. A journalist contact. Even Emily's inbox with a delay. If I vanished, it all blew sky high. Sleep evaded. Dreams tangled. Emily's birth. Tiny fist in mine, the crash site. Twisted metal and sirens. Her wedding. Me in ill-fitting suit. Beaming. Morning brought a call from the DA's cold case. Tommy's sister. Elena. Mr. Donovan? We need to talk about 2010. New evidence. Heart in throat. I agreed to meet. Emily's web fraying. But whose hands pulled the strings now? Elena's office in the Polk County Courthouse smelled of burnt coffee and bureaucracy. Files stacked like Jenga towers on every surface. Mid-30s. Sharp bob haircut. Eyes like Tommy's, piercing blue. Unyielding. She shook my hand firm. No warmth. Mr. Donovan Riley. Thanks for coming. This is delicate. We sat across a scarred formica table. Her notepad open like a confessional. The Hale case, she started. Voice even. Closed quick. Your plea. But forensics backlog cleared a print on the airbag. Not yours. Emily's. The air sucked out. I'd known. Deep down. But hearing it official? Like exhuming a body. And she leaned in. Confidential. Off record for now. We're reopening. Manslaughter. At minimum. But whispers. Witness tampering. Insurance fraud. You inside knowledge. My laugh was hollow, echoing off cinderblock walls. More than you'd believe. I spilled the confession. The cover. Harlan's files. Not Emily's laundering. That was my ace. Elena listened, jotting notes. Face a mask but eyes widening at the betrayal's depth. Why protect her? She asked. Pen pausing. Genuine curiosity. Not accusation. Fatherhood, I said, staring at my calloused hands. Thought it'd save her soul. Turns out, I damned mine. She nodded.
Slow.
Tommy was my brother. Football scholarship. First in family to college. That night, he was heading home from practice, dreaming big. Your daughter stole that.
Pause.
Then softer. But you served.
Paid.
In a way. Justice now? It's messy. She'll lawyer up. Cry coercion. You testify against her. The question gutted me. Testify? Paint Emily as the villain in open court. Under oath. Her tears real this time? Lily and Max in the gallery. Asking Grandma why Grandpa hates Mommy?
I
need time. Time's what she bought with your years, Elena said, sliding a card across. Call when ready. Or don't. But Tommy's waiting. I left the courthouse dazed. Sun mocking with its cheer. Des Moines buzzed, commuters in Subarus. Baristas slinging lattes, while my world tilted. Drive-through tacos for lunch. Eaten in the car, overlooking the Capitol Dome. Golden and indifferent. Emily's call came as I chewed. Dad. Where are you? Kyle's freaking. Cops at the door? Feigning ignorance. What cops? I'm at the library. Old case files. A beat. Nothing. Forget it. Dinner tomorrow? Neutral ground. Please. The plea tugged. Traitor Heart. The Milliner's Pub. 6. Hanging up. I texted Harlan. Feds on Kyle? Push it.
His reply done.
IRS audit incoming. She's cornered. Afternoon shadows lengthened as I tailed her. Old habits. Emily's Audi wove through traffic to a salon. Then a park where she met a woman in scrubs. Tommy's mom? No, nanny. Handing off the kids for errands. Emily hugged Lily fierce. Whispered to Max. Normalcy. Her armor cracking. By evening, the pub loomed, dive bar staple. Neon Miller signs flickering over peanut shells and jukebox twang. I nursed a bud. Back to the wall. Watching the door. She arrived fashionably late. Heels clicking. Dress hugging like apology. Slid into the booth. Ordering Chardonnay with shaky hands. Dad, she started. Voice low. This has to stop. The digging. The tips. Kyle's job. Screw Kyle. I cut in, leaning forward. This is us.
You and me.
Why'd you do it?
Ink.
Really? Her glass trembled. Wine sloshing. It was a kid. Scared shitless. You always said family first, so I
Adapted it.
After prison, the settlement came, guilt money from insurance. I invested. For security. It got dirty. Yeah.
But clean now.
Promise. Liar. I slapped Harlan's latest printout down. Audit notice. Kyle's name bold. Feds tomorrow. Your clean empire? Mud. She scanned it. Face ashen.
You. How?
Then fury flashed. The chameleon shedding skin. You bastard. After everything, I visited you every weekend, smuggled smokes, lied to my friends about why Dad was gone. And you repay with this. Visited, I scoffed. Photo ops for the warden's log. Smokes? Barter for info on my cellmate's wife. You played me from the inside. The pub noise faded. Our booth an island of venom. She hissed. You made me. Covered Mom's coke binges. My shoplifting taught me lies win. Now you judge. Truth stung. A boomerang of blame. I'd modeled survival as secrecy, toughness as denial. Her monstrosity, my blueprint. But the flip, profiting off death, that was her innovation. Sign it over. The money. To the Hales. Clean slate. Impossible. She stood. Chair scraping loud. Lily's college. Max's braces. Kids adapt, I said, echoing her old line. Like you did. She slapped me, crack echoing. Heads turning. Cheek burning. I tasted copper. You're dead to me, she whispered, storming out. But as she hit the door, her phone buzzed, visible on the table. Forgotten. I snatched it. Screen unlocked. Text from Kyle. Feds here. Hide the drives. Love you. And one to a contact Victor. Double the guards. Donovan's marked. Marked. The word chilled. Emily wasn't just flipping scripts, she was calling hitters. Russian ties? Kyle's syndicates ran deep. I bolted after her.
Pub door banging.
Her taillights vanished into traffic, but I followed, weaving lanes. She hit the highway, speeding toward the river bluffs, our old fishing spot. Childhood haunt. Why there? Pulling over a quarter-mile back. I hiked the trail, boots sucking mud. Voices drifted, Emily's. Kyle's. Low and urgent. Can't trust him. Take him out. Clean. My blood froze. Peering through brush, thumb on the overlook. River churning below. Kyle paced. Phone to ear. Yeah? Victor.
Tonight.
Make it look like Jumper. Prison PTSD. They buy it. Emily nodded. Arms crossed. But hesitation in her stance. He's my dad.
Kyle.
There has to be. Family first. Remember? He pocketed the phone, pulling her close. This ends it. For us. I backed away, silent as sin, mine screaming. The daughter I'd die for, plotting my death. Twist of the knife, her doubt. Was it salvageable? Or too far gone? Homebound. I armed up, old service revolver from PI days. Cleaned and loaded. Harlan's safe house address texted. go dark. Feds raid at dawn. But dawn was hours off. A stop first, Elena's home. A modest ranch in Urbandale. Knocking woke her. Robe clutched. Confusion to alarm. Riley? What's? They're coming for me. Emily. Kyle hit ordered. I thrust the phone screenshots. Use this.
Now.
She scanned. Baling. Jesus. Get inside. I'll call it in. We brewed coffee in her kitchen. Tommy's photo on the fridge, a shrine. Why tell me? She asked, dialing her captain. Redemption, I said. For him. For me. Sirens wailed distant as feds swarmed Kyle's, tires screeching.
Shouts.
My burner lit up. Emily. Dad, where are you? It's bad.
Come home.
Home. The word. Once sanctuary. Now snare. I let it ring. Heart fracturing. The avenger in me plotted next moves. The father. One last plea. But the night exploded, tires on my gravel drive. Not feds. Black SUV. Silhouettes piling out. Kyle's crew. Gun in hand. I slipped out Elena's back. Into the dark. Shots cracked. Wood splintering.
Run.
The chase blurred. Alleys. Backyards. Lungs burning. They cornered me at the river. Mill looming like judgment. End of the line. Donovan. A thick accent goon growled. Pistol gleaming. I raised mine. Steady. Not tonight. Bullets sang. Chaos raining. One down. Then two, my shots true. Prison yard reflexes. The last fled. Tires squealing. Blood on my hands, not mine. Sirens closed in. Emily's car pulled up. Her emerging face horror-struck. Dad? Oh God. What did you do? Kneeling in mud. Revolver smoking. I met her eyes. What you planned. The feds cuffed the runners. Elena vouching as witness. Emily approached.
Tentative.
I didn't mean, Kyle pushed. I called it off. Liar. I whispered. But doubt crept. Her tears real? Or performance? As they led me away, not in cuffs. Heroes welcome tentative. Kyle's SUV erupted from the shadows. Ramming toward us. Twist. He wasn't fleeing. He was fighting back. The riverbank turned slaughterhouse in seconds. Kyle's SUV fishtailing mud. Headlights blinding like accusatory spotlights. Emily screamed, diving aside as it clipped Elena's cruiser. Metal shrieking symphony. I fired blind, windows shattering, but Kyle gunned it straight for me. Face twisted demonic behind the wheel. Down, Elena yelled, tackling me into weeds. The SUV plowed past, slamming a tree with crunch of finality. Steam hissed. Kyle slumped over dash, blood sheening the airbag. Feds swarmed, barking orders, medics jogging. Emily crawled to the wreck, pounding the door.
Kyle. No.
No. Her wails raw, gut-wrenching, widow's cry or actress's cue. I rose, mud-caked, revolver empty, watching her shatter. Elena hauled me up, grip iron. You good? Breathing, I rasped, chest heaving. He flipped. Went rogue. She nodded, radioing cleanup. Syndicate ties confirmed. Victor's crew en route. Backups got M. Her eyes flicked to Emily, now cradled by a Fed.
Sobbing.
Her? Accomplice or victim? The question hung, splitting me. Accomplice, the emails, the hit order. Victim, Kyle's puppet. Love blinding her to rot. Both, I muttered. Like me. Dawn crept. Gray light exposing the carnage, SUV mangled. Goons zip-tied. Kyle's body bagged solemn. Emily spotted me across the tape. Eyes red-rimmed.
Pleading. Dad.
I didn't know he'd. Save it. I cut. Voice gravel. But I approached. Barrier breached by blood ties. Feds hovered. Notebooks out. What happens now? She wiped snot. Shivering in silk. Charges. Money laundering. Conspiracy. I'll fight for the kids.
Pause.
Voice breaking. Testify for me? Like before. Family. The ask landed like a grenade. Testify again? Lie for the monster I'd birthed? Or truth? Damning her to stripes. Lily and Max motherless? Prison flashbacks, her visits. 4 smiles, letters promising I'll make it right. Lies.
All.
But the twist nod, Kyle's final act, ramming blind, was it redemption? Sparing her the hit? Or erasing evidence? Her included? Elena pulled me aside. Hales want to meet.
Today.
Your call. The Hales' living room in West Des Moines was a time capsule, Tommy's jersey framed over the mantel. Faded photos of barbecues and proms. Mrs.
Hale.
Silver-haired and stooped. Poured tea with trembling hands, Mr. Hale. Burly ex-trucker. Sat silent. Eyes hollowed by years. Riley, she said. Voice quaver. Elena's brief. The truth. It's a gift. And a curse. I nodded.
Throat dry.
I took your boy's life. Not directly.
But.
My hands. Mr. Hale stirred. First words gravelly. Emily drove. You confessed. Why? Fatherhood, I echoed to Elena. But it broke us all. Mrs. Hale reached across. Hand cool on mine. We hated you. Prayed for your suffering.
But knowing? It.
Humanizes. She was young. Scared. Forgiveness. The word foreign. Not yet, she said. Gentle. But understanding. The money, settlement, we donated most. To scholarships. Tommy's legacy. Twist of grace amid gore. Emily's profits. Laundered through guilt. Now ghosts redeemed. I left with their card. A fragile bridge. Back at the station. Interrogation room hummed, coffee stale. Fluorescence buzzing lies. Emily across the table. Cuffs glinting. Lawyers shark-suited beside. Dad, she whispered as recorder's word. Help me. The DA, Elena's boss. Stern in suspenders, laid it out. Manslaughter revival. Fraud counts stacking to 20 years min. Mr. Donovan. Your testimony. Room stilled. Emily's eyes locked mine. Daughter's plea. Siren's call. Flips. Her charm to cruelty. My protection to poison. Controversial call. Lie again. Preserve the family facade. Let her rot inside instead of out? Or truth? Shatter it all. Free the dead?
I.
Words stuck. Visions, Lily's future dimmed. Max's questions unanswered. Tommy's grin restored by justice, my soul. Finally unburdened. The truth, I said. Steady. She drove. I covered. But the rest, the money, the hits, that's on her. Emily's gasp shattered. Head dropping. You son of a, I did it for us. Lawyer jumped. Coercion, abuse. But the DA smiled thin. We'll see. Outside. Elena waited. Cigarette dangling.
Brave.
Hales approve. Brave or brutal? I lit one too. Smoke curling questions. She shrugged.
Gray.
Like America, messy justice, fractured families. Weeks blurred, trials, depositions. Headlines screaming father turns on daughter in deadly crash cover-up. Emily's flip-flops in court, tearful remorse one day. Venomous glares next, split the gallery. Protesters outside, free Emily. Patriarchal sacrifice. Versus. Justice for Tommy. Pundits on cable ranted. Enabler or avenger. Readers picking sides. Debates raging barstools to Twitter. Kyle's syndicate crumbled. Victor extradited. Feds patting backs. The money? Seized. Funneled to victims' funds. Tommy's name etched first. Sentencing day dawned crisp October. Leaves flaming like pyres. Emily in orange. Belly swelling, pregnant. Late-term surprise. Twist. Kyle's last gift. Or irony's cruel jab. She waddled to the stand, hand on bump. Dad, she said, mic'd voice echoing. I forgive you. The gallery murmured. Forgive me? The gall. The gaslight. But her eyes, soft now, broken, held no serpent. Just a girl I'd lost long ago. 20 to life, the judge intoned, gavel falling like guillotine. Emily's sob echoed as they led her away, bump silhouetted in doorframe.
Outside.
Lily and Max waited with Elena. Awkward hugs. Questions tumbling. Mommy's sick. I knelt. Throat tight.
Mommy's.
Resting. But we'll visit. Promise. Hale family there too. Mrs. Hale pressing a photo into my hand. Tommy and a toddler Emily at a picnic. Pre-crash innocence.
For the album, she said.
New chapters. I drove home slow. River sparkling benign. Harlan's office first. Bourbon toast. You did it.
Partner.
Cleanish. Clean? I snorted. Scars everywhere. But free. He clapped my shoulder. Piagig back? Or retirement? Rebuild, I said. Grandkids need a grandpa who's honest. Epilogue months on. Emily birthed a boy. Named him Riley, twist or taunt. Letters from her cell. Halting apologies. Pleas for books on forgiveness. I wrote back. Sparse. Healing takes time. Love. Dad. The Hales invited us to Tommy's memorial barbecue. Not tears. Lily chased fireflies. Max grilled with Mr.
Hale.
Elena danced with a Fed. Life inching forward.
Me?
Nights by the river. Revolver retired. Pie cooling on the sill. Vengeance sated. But hollow, no winners. Just survivors. Controversial end. Did I save her by breaking her? Or damn us both? Debates rage in my head. Over beers with Harlan. In whispers to the dark. America's revenge. Dramatic. Divided. Never tidy. But in the quiet, pie shared with grandkids, I taste something like peace. Or maybe just the lie we tell to keep driving.